Hey folks, it's James with the weekly podcast dOff, where I get into all the news that is news that will be news on my channel. And we are at it again. First thing first, we should probably address, actually the first thing, let's talk about the Back 9 building series. It came out on Thursday night. Hopefully you guys have watched it. If not, go on to the channel, watch it. It's 9 must-have tools for every painting job. It's pretty good stuff. And I got a free PDF at theback9life.com to give you all the information on it. So you can tackle any painting project you choose with authority and confidence. I can't really tell you going to paint well, but you'll at least have the right tools. Second thing to address, my prediction on the Ryder Cup last week. I was not anywhere near right. Those Europeans, they came to play last week, and they sure did. Kicked our butts pretty good. And it's not that we played bad. It's not that we played bad at all. It's just that the Europeans were good. They were ready. They were prepared, and they just gave us a shellacking. Shellacking, that's a good word. I like that. There's been a lot of stink in the news this week, though, about how the crowds treated the Europeans in New York, and it comes with the Ryder Cup. It does, and it's to be expected a lot. I've checked out a bunch of the stuff. Rory McIlroy caught a bunch that he really shouldn't. But if you go to New York, those people out in New York, they can get rude. Now, did they go a little too far? Yeah, one of them threw a beer. He was trying to hit Rory, but I think he hit his wife with a beer. That's a little too much to me. But they were complaining, that they were getting cussed at and stuff whenever they're lining up putts and things like that. Well, I mean, you're playing basketball. You guys are shooting a free throw. Crowd isn't staying quiet. You're playing football. The guys are kicking a field goal. Crowd isn't staying quiet. I mean, you get heckled. You get heckled a lot, and it just comes with the Ryder Cup. Some people took it a little too far, yes, but hey, it's just sports. And honestly, it just fired the Europeans up more, and they delivered. They killed us. It was pretty much over from day one, in my opinion. I didn't even watch that much of it on Sunday. I think I went and played golf instead. Actually, I did. I went and played golf, I think, and played terrible myself that day. I looked like a bunch of them. I think the 2 best balls I hit that day were whenever I stepped on a rake in the sand trap. Oh, come on now. I remember whenever the old thing about Johnny Carson, he was asking, who's the old golfer? Oh, Arnold Palmer. You forget Arnold Palmer. But he was asking Arnold Palmer's wife, he's like, is there something that you do for your husband before he goes out and plays? And she's like, yeah, I wash his balls. And Johnny Carson said on live TV back then, well, I bet that makes his putter stand up. So if you're offended by a little joke like me stepping on a rake and, being the 2 best balls I hit, which it was. Anyway, let's get into some news. I had 4 of them. I'm not even going to get into one of them. I'll get into the government shutdown just for a second. Honestly, it might just be over by the time I post this on Sunday. It's just become a normal thing, and it's going to get even more normal because our funding gaps are always there, and they're always going to find a reason to be partisan with it. Bipartisans whenever they agree on something, right? Which I don't know if we have bipartisanship anymore in Washington, D.C. But we periodically shut down the government now, and we're going to shut it down some more because we're going to start to have debt ceilings come a lot sooner. Pretty soon, probably in about 10 years, about every 3-4 days, we'll run out of money, and we'll need more. And so every 3 or 4 days, we'll have threats of shutting the government down. So quite honestly, I woke up that day. I didn't even notice. Same as the rest of them. I'm just happy that they didn't shut the world down again. Shut down the government. It's an unpaid vacation for these employees, even though Trump's threatening to fire a bunch of them. But I say unpaid, they'll probably end up getting back pay out of it too. It's just the way the government works. There it is. Government shutdown. P Diddy, he got sentenced to 4 years in prison for federal prostitution charges. Not charges, he's been convicted. So he was sentenced today to 4 years. And he was all sad, and he asked the judge for leniency, and his kids come up and said he's a changed man and all this. This whole gangster rap feud that has been going on since the 90s. Who'd you have? You had Tupac getting shot and killed in Vegas. You had Biggie Smalls getting shot and killed in L.A., I believe it was. Yeah, he was in L.A. A Suge Knight, who used to drag around guys in the office with a dog collar and their underwear on and stuff and hit somebody with his car. I think he's in prison for the rest of his life, which he should be, thug that he is. But yeah, now P Diddy. I mean, it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it to bring those records into the suburbs to those white kids. I joke about that too. A lot of them have actually done real well. Dr. Dre, obviously, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. Those guys came out of that same era, and they've actually turned into really productive citizens and everything else, and have done really great creative things. But anyway, the bad boy, he's turned into the bad boy, obviously, and is going to be treated as such by the Department of Corrections for a little while. Living in that lifestyle, that rock and roll, hard partying kind of lifestyle, I mean, everybody who gets into it, you kind of know it's there. You come to expect that from a certain class of people, and there's just people that always want to be around these people no matter how horribly they get treated. That's the sad part to me, is that we need to not idolize these people so much that we'll do anything just to be around them. It reaches a level where they think they are gods. And whenever that happens, they're just going to treat everybody around them like dirt. It's nowhere near the girl's faults. Walking into that situation, you go in with your eyes wide open. VIP clubs to solitary confinement rooms. What do we got? Neither walking nor running. Harvard's top recommend activity to keep people over 55 healthy. These Harvard guys have came up with this, which I don't usually agree with too much what Harvard people say, because they claim you got to be smart, but I think they lose a lot of common sense whenever they go to these high-level schools. But I am happy. It's like now we got a fitness routine where me walking into the kitchen and forgetting why I walked in there can actually be considered cardio for me, because I'm starting to do that myself, and I'm not even that old. But I walk into the kitchen, I totally forget why I went in there. I figure it was to eat, but then I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to want to eat. Fitness secret, move like you forgot why. This was actually a good article, and it actually made a lot of sense to me, because working out at 50 for brute strength, you just wind up hurting yourself more than anything. I was playing golf a couple of years back, and I was just practice swinging on a tee box, and me and my buddy were playing, and I was just practice swinging on the tee box, and all of a sudden my knee just went out. It went out, and I just hit the ground for no reason. No reason. It's not like I was exerting myself. But whenever you try to work out like you're 20, you're going to end up hurting yourself. So in this article, they said, no, do things like Tai Chi, martial arts, Tai Chi, Aikido, Wing Chun. I don't know that one, but that's the one they put in the article. But Tai Chi, Aikido, things like that are more concerned about balance, breathing, and body awareness. And there's such good things to do. Actually, I really should get myself back into some sort of exercise like that to just focus on my body more. I can't go to the gym and pump because end up, like I said, hurting myself, and then I can't go to the gym anyway because I'm hurt. So walking, running, things like that, the Harvard guys are like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Do Tai Chi, do Aikido. Harvard says it. Hey, gotta be right. Okay. Ooh, controversial one. Little controversy. Fury erupts after school promotes National Coming Out Day to young children. It kind of floated around with Youngkin, the governor of Virginia, signing an executive order saying about the bathrooms. The boys can't go in girls' bathrooms. The girls can't go in the boys. So this was kind of a retaliation. And this is becoming the biggest problem with our school systems currently, is everything is turning into a political issue instead of just teaching kids. Just teach the kids, for God's sake. I mean, come on. Coming Out Day, I'm all for it, I guess. I don't know why we have to have a holiday every day. What did we have last week? National Daughters Day, and the National Granddaughters Day, the National Second, Third Cousins Day. I mean, do we have to have a day for everything? Can't we just have a Tuesday? Can't we have, hey, what are you celebrating today? Oh, it's Wednesday. Cool. Let's happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right, now it's Friday. Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday to everybody. I don't know what day it is today. But the National Coming Out Day, okay, fine, cool. It's all about inclusion. I agree with that. I'm all for it. But why in elementary school? Why are we even talking about sexuality to second graders? I mean, this is crap. You vote these school boards in, and then they bring up stuff like this. I mean, I would worry more about my budget, which I don't see a school in America really worried about that. They just spend money like it's going out of style. And therein lies the problem. If you're going to take federal government money, if you're going to take state money, then guess what? You're going to have the federal government and the state coming into your house, sitting in your chair, and petting your dog and having sex with your wife. It's just going to be like that. So you can't complain whenever the next administration comes in, the Trump administration, or the next governor is Republican, and they say, you can't do this. Okay, fine. We will do it. Okay, you won't get any money. Well, we don't want that. We'll take you to court. And of course, I talked last week or the week before about our justice system. So that's where that is. Anyway, that's going to be it for the day. Yeah, time-wise, we're good. It won't be as long as the others, but tell you the truth, I didn't really find much news today find much news this week that really I felt I needed to say anything about. Did see one today. The Department of Homeland Security lady in Chicago, she got denied going into a government building to use the restroom. That's where we've gotten to. That is where we have gotten to in the politics of this world today. Is that we won't even let people use the same bathrooms, even unless, I guess I was going to try to make a joke around the girls' boys' bathrooms to lead back, but I'm not going to. But deny her using the restroom in a government building. That is funny. That is funny to me, but it's also very sad. Just for the sake of us being neighborly and being nice and being civil, if somebody comes up and it isn't going to abuse your bathroom, let them use it. It's just a neighborly kind of thing to do. You ever had to go to the bathroom so bad your bladder's like about to blow up and you just need to use the restroom? Yeah, put yourself in her shoes. She had a full bladder. She needed to go to the bathroom. America. I know that's America. Fuck yeah. Team America. Remember that one? Of course you guys do. Yeah, I actually, right before I go, I watched Airplane and Blazing Saddles the other day. Holy cow. How did they make these movies back then? Man, they were so racist. They were so much talking about sexual predators and stuff. Oh man, it was just, it's like, how did Mel Brooks make these things back then? Because we weren't so sensitive as a country back then. Leave a comment. Tell me something. Tell me a piece of news that you want me to talk about. Give me a piece of news you want me to talk about next week. Because I'm trying to find them, and most of these news stories just bore me to death these days because they all sound the same and they've all got the T word in them. And I just don't like talking about the T word much because I got to go over to my parents' house and listen to my mother talk about it all the time. Day in and day out. And it's draining. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next week. Later.